And I wanted to say this, that in this weekend, as God would have it in his calendar, what he did about 4,000 years ago when he moved the children of Israel from Egypt into the wilderness, and then they were there for 40 years. God, denial is not God's denial, because he made a way through the Red Sea 40 years before. But the God of 40 years before is still the God of 40 years later. And what he did before, he can do it again. And if he moved the Red Sea before, he will move Jordan's river later on. You just have to get to Jordan for God to do the miracle. Sometimes we are not in the position to get to the miracle, and we are praying for the miracle, but we are in the middle of the wilderness. The miracle cannot come upon you if you're in the middle of the wilderness. You got to get to Jordan. And I want you to know that the children of Israel got to Jordan, and God says when you get there, it's a river, but no river is uncrossable with God. No mountain is immovable with God. No trouble is too big that God cannot handle. He specializes in things that are impossible. Have you ever had anything that's impossible with God? Put it before him. You may think this trouble with your family is too big. Put it before him. You may think that sickness and that disease that you heard the doctor give you a report about is too big for anything to happen. Put it before him. You may think that when we had no power early on, that somehow God cannot turn the power on. But when God has the right people, like Brother Wall, he's an electrician, and all of these good men who came around, and everyone who flipped the right switch, and everyone who touched everything, and everyone who made a way, God is going to make a way when they're praying people. You know, you cannot just let your circumstances rule you and be in front of you. You've got to look at your circumstance and say, circumstance, I'm not going to make you rule me. There's a God in heaven who rules me. You're going to make your circumstances under your feet. You're going to put your trouble under your feet. Somebody shout hallelujah. Can I declare that you are in a weekend of miracles? Tell somebody, I'm in a weekend of miracles. I'm in an hour of miracles. Now, I'm not waiting on next week. I'm not waiting on next month. I mean, right now I'm in a miracle. Let me tell you why you're in a miracle. Because number one, there is a significant moment that God is going to do significant things at specific times. Somebody shout hallelujah. God has significant moments at significant times that he will make a way where there is no way.